I felt prompted to make this video. I was watching something on CNN today. It was a documentary about people that have died and gone to heaven and come back. I absolutely love that kind of stuff. I'm not quite sure why. I have this longing for supernatural. I have this longing for what's beyond this world. I'm not quite sure why. It's like a childlike awe. There's so many things in the past, 5 years or 4 years that I've learned about God and how He works and, how He does things and how we can see Him, these little miracles, and, my eyes are open to it. But I long for more. I long to just really understand it. And sometimes I feel like it's right there and I just want to grab it. So when I was watching that, it really made me think about, again, the fact that there's a natural and a spiritual. And once you've accepted Christ into your life and opened your mind, He shows you things that you weren't aware of before, that your natural person just could not comprehend or grasp. But the Spirit grasps it. It's just interesting. The one that I was watching was Mary C. Neal, who was a doctor, and she died in a kayaking accident, and she had gone to heaven, and she was talking to Jesus, and He was telling her, that she had to go back, that her purpose on earth wasn't done. And she really realized that this life is like a school. We're here literally learning like a school. Also, a guy that I really like, I've watched and heard his testimony, Howard Storm. Same thing. He had a near-death experience, and he was an atheist, and he was there with Jesus and other spirit beings, and they were saying to him, this world is our training ground. It's like the flesh obviously desires fleshly things that are temporal here in this world. But when we're here, we're supposed to be working to let that go. And sometimes we don't get it until something tragic, unfortunately, happens to us that really makes us reevaluate what's important and what's not. So I just think that if you could look at your life in that way, you can start to see this vastness and there's so much excitement to be had in the littlest things. I have a friend, she called me, and she's, walking with Christ, and it's a new experience for her, like within the past couple of years. And she's been a doorway to her family. She's opened the door of this new life to her family, and they're actually starting to follow suit. And her sister said to her, you're the doorway. You were the doorway for our family. And it kind of resonated with her. And then she said she was at church, and this woman was speaking to her, and she opened the door for the woman, and the woman said to her, oh, you're holding the door for me. Now you're going to be holding the door for many. Really speaking in natural terms, but because my friend is now open to her spirit, the spiritual part of who she is, the half natural, half spiritual, we're both. It resonated with her what she was saying, that she's opening the door for other people to come through her life. And what happened was, the next day, that woman died. And it resonated with her even more, like, oh my gosh, I was literally holding the door for her. And it was just a wink from God. God saying, I'm using you, and I'm going to take something that someone said to you, your sister said to you, and I'm going to show you that this is true. This is your calling. This is your life. This is your purpose. It's exciting to see what God has in store for us, and it's exciting to see like all of these things that are almost hidden in plain sight. All of these things that have been here all along. It's like, how do we not see it? How do we not see or hear these things? But when we're only dealing in the natural, we can't see it. You know, we get mad at people sometimes and we say, oh, you know, why don't they get it? You know, I get like that sometimes. I get frustrated, especially when it's people you love and you want them to understand, because it's so exciting and you're seeing things with these new eyes. But if they're not there, if they are only still in the natural, and that's the part of their walk that they're on, they haven't met that spiritual part yet. But when they do, they'll be able to see it. So we can't be angry with them, because they truly, they can't comprehend it, not until they've opened that spiritual part of their minds to Christ, who is our one mediator, the one person that can take us there. So I just wanted to talk about that and kind of put that out there, the natural and the spiritual. And there's so much excitement in this life, and there's so much in our lives that we're supposed to be learning. And if you haven't learned it yet, or haven't even started, you know, tapping into that spiritual side, I just pray that today you close your eyes and ask God into your heart, and ask Jesus into your heart, and just tell Him to lead you, that you want to know Him, and He'll do it. It doesn't have to be anything special, any kind of special prayer. Just really that, and repentance, of course. You know, just to forgive you for the things that you did when you didn't know any better. Okay, thanks.